Welcome back everyone to the channel. My name is Zos and today is the first episode of Overclock review. Now, what this means is we'll be reviewing overclocks that were buffed or nerfed in the more recent update 32 of the Pro Galactic. And today we're tackling the active stability system overclock for the M1000 for the Scout. Now, before we get into this, do know that we stream on Twitch every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every weekend. Get there. We do some viewer response there and gifting subs almost every month. So if you want to drop by, the link is right in the description right here. Would be very grateful. Now, let's get to it. Now, what the old active stability system overclock did, or the ASS OC, or how I like to call it, the ASS overclock, was this overclock gave you 100% movement speed while focusing a shot. So basically, it's like no debuff while focusing a shot, plus 0%. But also with that, it also came with minus 25% focus shot damage. So this is what it did basically before. You had no movement speed penalty while focusing a shot, but they were a little weaker, minus 25% damage on it. But it was unused, it was trash, it was the old one. Now, what the new one does, it keeps the 100% movement speed bonus from focusing a shot, and it gives you plus 20% focus shot speed. So you charge your shot 20% faster with this overclock. And the drawback on this one is plus 0.5 reload time. Now, if you've been following our videos, you know that reload time isn't quite a problem, especially on the M1000, because it can be cancelled a little bit. So even if it adds up to the total time, you can still cut it by a few seconds, so it won't be too impactful. If you want to know what I mean by cancelling animation, you can go check this video right here that I made on top 5 tips to get better at HAS5. It explained in the second tip, I reckon. So go check that out. It is also important to note that they buffed the focus speed of the base weapon by a certain margin. I don't know the numbers exactly, but I did. And they also nerfed the charge speed perk on the tier 2 for the M1000 to balance it all out. So I don't know if the buffed version of the base gun and the nerfed version of the tier 2 makes the gun similar and in the end, but what this surely means is if you don't take the tier 2 upgrade for the M1000, you just have a little bit extra shoot speed or charge speed on a focus shot. And so for the ASS overclock, what this means in general is that it went from being completely garbage to actually being really viable, even maybe godlike in speedruns. Not in general HAS5 solo or multiplayer scout though, because speedrunning and regular play is completely different. On speedrunning, you rely on killing stuff fast and using that ammo for a certain thing, not preparing for every eventuality in HAS5, Dreads, Macteras, etc. It's meant to kill, especially Dreadnoughts, very fast, and that's it. On HAS5, solo scout or multiplayer scout, it is not the same things you want to look for when making a build, so be careful about that. But in speedrunning or even in general, it can really make a difference, and I really do appreciate this new change to this overclock. So, Zos, what is the best way to use this overclock? What is it good at? Well, I'm glad you asked. Well, the best way to use this overclock is actually to go full on DPS with it. In fact, even with a little bit of ammo, blow through and stun, etc., it doesn't mix as well as with minimal clips, for example, because in the end, you'll just be charging shots faster and wasting bullets faster than you usually would, but you don't have the extra ammo from minimal clips or reload time. But reload time is, So going full DPS with it is, for me, now the best way I found to utilize this overclock to its maximum potential. You'll be focusing your shots faster, sure, but most of the time on HAS5 with a good damage build, you just have to hipfire the weak spots of grunts and that does the work, and not focus all of your shots, otherwise you're wasting twice the ammo. So what's the point of focusing fast if you could just hipfire / focus sometimes? Well, the speed that you get from the focusing with this overclock will actually be used on Dreadnoughts and maximum DPS, a lot of damage in a quick succession of fast focused shots. I think this overclock will really be targeted at solo scout versus dreadnought, because Praetorians and oppressors, yes, being healthy targets, they can die in 1 or 2 cryo grenades, which I did mention in a previous video on how to use grenades effectively. right here. So basically the build we're about to present works perfectly on solo scout has 5 or higher hazard, whatever the hazard you play on. Solo scout is best at this because on multiplayer enemies have more health because there's more dwarfs, and so on solo you're better off. Plus you also have more ammo on solo. With 80 nitra you can have 4 resupplies. I mean, not resupplies, but you know, ammo packs. Rather than multiplayer, it's only 1 per dwarf. If you do double dip, don't double dip. It is also very important to know that the fact that you don't have focus shot movement speed penalty allows you to pair super well with the grappling gun's momentum perk, which I would recommend going on any build. If you don't have this already, just pick it. You could also go for a little bit of less charge time, but the movement speed bonus here is very much useful in a lot of situations, and it's kind of the only one where you have something like this, because I really don't like picking dash on scout when you can have it instead in a build and have a utilized perk tree afterwards. It's way better. If you can have something on your builds or weapons or tools, have it there rather than just wasting a perk slot for something that you could have had somewhere else. And I can already hear the argument of,
well, don't waste a weapon slot for an upgrade that you need, just put it on your perks instead.
It's arguable, but on the scout it's way better to go for the momentum on the grappling gun. Trust me on this one, because it will pair out super well with the non-movement speed penalty. You can basically grappling hook, go to the M1000, focus a shot and run with it, and it's super cool when you're trying to chase around those moonwalking dreadnought sons of. So the build I recommend going with this is 2 on the first row for more damage and DPS potential, 1 on the second row for even more focus speed so it can do more DPS, 1 on the third row to go more focus shot damage, 2 on the fourth row for, once again, more damage on the weak spot because it's what you'll be healing. Essentially, hit the weak spot, do it. And 3 on the fifth row. You could go for stun. I don't think fear is gonna help, but yeah, basically we go for reload speed after a kill because that'll cancel out the reload speed penalty from the overclock, the ASS overclock, or AS. And if you really want to dish out some omega damage, then you're gonna have to go with the boomstick. Of course, they did buff the Zukovs, which I'll talk in another video, but for this build, go for the boomstick. Row number 1, number 2, upgrade number 2, damage, for obvious reasons. Row number 2, shoot speed, well, once more, for more DPS and dish out more damage quicker. Row number 3, upgrade number 3, more pellet count, more damage. Makes sense. Moving on. Row number 4, blow through. The armor break doesn't work on the dreadnought. It doesn't like shred his armor faster. I just find it better if you have that one grunt that makes its way in between you and the dreadnought or another horde of enemies, and so you can just blow through him and continue dishing out damage. So it's pretty helpful. Even maybe if you're dealing with 2 dreadnoughts at the same time and they are close to each other, with this upgrade you can just boomstick their butts and shred both of their armor with blow through. So take that. And for the last row, my once and favorite on the boomstick, upgrade number 1, the auto reload on this. Basically this pairs with the gameplay. You wanna, with the attack speed on row number 2, shoot very fast your 2 bullets, swap back to the M1000, focus your shots as fast as you can, and with this perk, it will born ready your boomstick for you when you go back to it 5 seconds later. Wait for the tick, but usually when you focus your shots, it should be enough time that when you go back to your boomstick, it's already reloaded for even more damage and DPS, because you won't spend the time reloading it manually. You'll already be on your M1000 focusing shots and dealing more and more damage. So go for upgrade number 1 on row number 5. And for omega DPS, as I promised, you might have already guessed it, but jumbo shells, of course. To dish out as maximum damage as you can, the ammo penalty isn't even there. You'll be dealing so much damage that, you won't even notice that your ammo is gone because the dread will be gone before that. Now that you have the build and I told you what to do with it, I think you're free to go. That's been it for the Overclock review of the active stability system Overclock. If you did like it, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and a bell. That would be precious for the channel. Thank you very much. Don't miss out the other overclock reviews that we'll be doing for update 32. They'll be coming weekly if I don't slack. Also, don't forget to check out the Twitch link in the description to get on our channel every weekend. It's been some good times on Deep Rock Galactic. Apart from that, I think everything is said, chat. Catch you guys in the next video or stream. Love y'all. Peace.